Ready for takeoff, baby. Ready for takeoff.
For the 2011 Dallas Mavericks, the bitter taste of a devastating collapse 5 years earlier still lingered.
Just to make it to that stage and then be up 2-0 and have everything going our way and not come up with the goal is basically ripping your heart out.
So, as the Mavs began another quest for that elusive title, it was Dirk Nowitzki who would lead the way while redefining his own legacy.
When you talk about Michael Jordan, Larry Bird, Magic Johnson, they're going to mention Dirk in that same breath.
What Dirk's doing is legendary stuff. This is a joke how good this man is.
But for this year's Mavs to finally reach their goal, they would need to rely not on any one player, but on everyone.
We have 15 guys at all times that are ready to go out and perform. That in itself is where the strength of this team lies.
And together, this cast of veterans would realize the dream they'd been chasing their entire careers.
The Mavericks have scaled the NBA playoff mountain and have planted their flag. For the first time ever, the Dallas Mavericks are the NBA champions. They are basketball's best in 2011.
NBA basketball arrived in Dallas, Texas 3 decades ago, when the city welcomed its new expansion team, nicknamed the Mavericks.
The franchise was brought here in 1980 by Don and Linda Carter, and they put together some amazing teams.
By their 4th season, the Mavericks were contenders, and they began a run of 5 straight trips to the playoffs.
It's a great win for our franchise and for this group.
The high point came in 1988, when Dallas went deeper into the postseason than it ever had before.
So the Mavericks, for the first time ever, will go to the conference finals.
Though they would lose to the eventual champion Lakers in 7 games, the Mavs had become one of the up-and-coming teams of the 1980s.
We're making some progress here, and we're getting better as a team, and I think we'll continue to get better.
The 90s, however, would be a very different story, with Dallas going into a free fall.
And then it went through a period where it was 10 years of not making the playoffs, and it was a very, very difficult time.
Even after the arrival of Dirk Nowitzki and Steve Nash, the Mavericks continued to struggle until a new owner took over the franchise.
We were just really in our lowest point when Mark Cuban bought the team. And Mark embraced us all at our darkest hour, and that's something that I'll never forget. We started to turn the corner.
With Mark Cuban pouring his passion and resources into the team, it took just 6 years for Dallas to reach the NBA Finals against Miami.
And the Mavericks have a commanding 2-0 lead.
They were halfway to the championship, only to see the Heat come storming back.
The Miami Heat have climbed the mountain.
We had an amazing run, and then be up 2-0 and have everything going our way and not come up with the goal.
The Miami Heat are champions of the basketball world.
And it's basically ripping your heart out. I think it was the most disappointing loss of my career, of my life.
But there was more disappointment to follow, as the Mavericks would lose in the first round in 3 of the next 4 years.
Golden State Warriors have pulled off the biggest playoff upset in NBA history as they dispatch the 67-win Dallas Mavericks 4 games to 2.
Normally, when you get to positions like that, where you have a chance to grab something and you don't get it, it's seldom you get a second crack.
So as they entered the 2011 season, it seemed that the only ones who truly believed in the Mavericks anymore were themselves.
We got together in preseason.
It might be aggressive, man.
You know, all night we were talking basketball. You know, talking about what it meant to have this group of guys together. Everybody's unique individual story. We talked about that. I looked at everybody and said, man, I believe we can win. I don't know about y'all.
Ready for takeoff, baby.
We got the team to do it. Look at the pieces. Sean Marion, Deshaun Stevenson, Tyson Chandler. We got guys that's all-stars, starters. It don't matter. We got it. We have what it takes right now in this room to win a championship. I'm going to get a tattoo of the trophy right now to show you what I mean. Man, you crazy, Jet. That's what you got to tell you crazy, man. I don't know what you're talking about. Show up to shoot around the next morning, coach done talking. I showed coach, I'm serious, baby. We going to win it all this year. Right here. I got a tattoo to prove it.
Come on now, come on. On behalf of myself and my teammates in the Dallas Mavericks organization, we want to thank y'all for y'all continued support of this team. Y'all been amazing for us, and y'all been there for rough times and good times. So enjoy the ride, and let's get it going.
From the start, the Mavericks showed that they would be a force in the West once again. And as always, they were led by Dirk Nowitzki. The superstar from Germany had been a free agent over the summer, but decided to remain with the only team he'd ever played for. After 13 years, Dirk had become a perennial all-star and one of the game's best shooters.
Nowitzki, unbelievable shooting exhibition.
Jason Terry, a former Sixth Man of the Year, delivered explosive offense off the bench.
Jason Terry has been a flamethrower.
Jason Kidd, second all-time in assists, had a new dimension to his game. Caron Butler, a two-time All-Star, was a key weapon in the Dallas attack.
It's a three-point, it's raining threes.
And Sean Marion had built a reputation as one of the NBA's most versatile players.
Marion strikes it home.
The Mavericks also featured a deep and experienced cast of reserves.
Stevenson dials and drops it for three. Oh, nice move. Shifting gears. Hazel wants three more. Drive and a huge block. Brendan Haywood.
But this Dallas team had one key addition, Tyson Chandler.
Since I've been a Maverick, somebody to be alongside Dirk on the inside has been something that we've sorely needed. Tyson Chandler instantly brought a toughness, a nastiness about the way he went about his business every day.
That's pretty loud right there.
I think Tyson really changed the culture around here.
It is a different Dallas Mavericks team than we've seen in recent years. So gritty, so tough, and never give up.
I played against this team in the playoffs when I was with the Hornets, and back then I kind of felt like I kind of knew some of their holes, what the team was lacking and what the team needed. When I found out I was being traded here, I just wanted to bring exactly that energy, a certain type of physicality, and a certain type of mindset.
Tyson Chandler has electrified the crowd.
Tyson Chandler, it was a difference all year long. Energy, his emotion. We needed somebody like that.
With a strong roster and a clear mission, the Mavericks steamrolled through the first 2 months of the season.
Touch pass to Terry for three. Yes, sir! Dirk steps into a three ball.
And Kidd able to deflect it and finally come away with it gorgeous behind the back.
And the hottest team in the NBA is still plenty hot.
It was an amazing run. Man, we had so many things we accomplished this season. We was breaking everybody's streaks.
The Hornets lose for the first time this year, and it's Dallas who sends them to that first one.
I told you, we streak killers, baby. Anybody out there in the NBA, y'all got a streak going, you don't want us coming into your building, because we're going to end it.
Spurs trying to make it 13 straight. Best start in franchise history. Terry goes in and one. The 12-game winning streak comes to a halt here tonight.
And here we go, us. On the start, Blue. Woo! Let's go, Blue.
Next, they took aim at the star-studded Miami Heat, whose newly formed Big Three had made them the talk of the league.
Air ball. Another offensive rebound for Marion. That is a killer. The Dallas Mavericks end another 12-game winning streak.
At the end of December, there was a quiet confidence about how well we were playing. There was no question at that stage we knew we could have a special year.
The Mavericks will go to 24-5, 11-1 away.
We wanted to get off with a better start than we did the year before and understand that we're right there with the best teams in the league.
As hot as they were, the Mavs still had to prove they were legitimate title contenders.
We were always under the radar. or never talked about. Nobody ever really gave us a chance that we were going to, lose at some point, and that's what the Mavericks do. They always find a way to beat themselves.
The doubts about Dallas would only grow deeper when they lost two of their best players, as Nowitzki and Butler both suffered knee injuries.
And then he's a little slow to get up.
Here we go. Dirk gets hurt, he get injured, then Karan get injured.
Losing Karan and the impact that he had from a team chemistry point, we really had a rhythm going. So that was, there was, I don't know if I'd call it doubt, but we knew that we had a challenge in front of us.
When Butler went down on January 1st, that was a low point for us. We had to go through a dark period.
So a night after San Antonio blew out Dallas, the Grizzlies do likewise.
It sometimes could put doubt in your mind, where we're headed.
Rebound, butt boards out of bounds, and last touch by Dallas.
Guys was trying to step up, guys was playing hard, but we still was losing.
Terry turns the corner, loses the ball. As Howard gets these huge blocks.
They had that unbelievable start this season where they had the second best record in the NBA. It was the best start in franchise history, and all of a sudden it's come apart.
We got to draw a line in the sand and say, hey, this is enough. We got to, stop this losing streak. We got to pick it up. We got to figure out a way to win.
The team received a huge lift when Dirk returned after missing 9 games. But it turned out that Karan would miss the rest of the season, and the Mavs had to move on without their second leading scorer.
In every NBA season, there's going to be times where injuries may play a part. Somebody might go down. But that in itself is where the strength of this team lies. We have 15 guys at all times that are ready to go out and perform.
Defense on 3. 1, 2, 3. Defense.
With everyone contributing, the Mavericks recaptured their winning ways. By March, they were riding another sizzling streak of 18 wins in 19 games.
The important part of the whole thing is to come ready and lay it out all on the line and pour their hearts out and put it together with 10 men on that court to being able to do the job right now.
To the basket,
What's crazy is the game that helped us get our edge back to me was when we came back home and we played the Lakers and we beat them here.
That Laker win's going to be one of the signature wins of this season when the story of this season is written, because that turned it around. Terry knocks down the 3.
We just believed we was a resilient team. Through all the injuries and everything, man, it seemed like every time somebody tried to knock us down, we picked ourselves back up. Know that you can believe in yourselves and believe in your teammates.
It's a steal by Jason Terry. On the break, Marion with a big jam right in the face of Pachulia.
The Mavs had racked up their 11th consecutive 50-win season, but all the questions about Dallas would never truly go away unless they could win when it mattered most, in the playoffs.
That fueled some fire. We took it all to heart and realized that, hey, it's just us in this locker room that has the belief, has the faith.
Three-pointer, puts it in, Jason Kidd, and the Mavericks go up by 2.
We're never going to get any attention. Dirk doesn't get any attention, nor do we.
Did you see that pass?
Wow.
I thought that we had a shot, but nobody outside of us at that time believed in that. We just kept flying under the radar.
Dallas 57 wins, tied with the Lakers for the 4th best record in the NBA, but
Teams were calling us out. We want to play the Mavericks. We welcome that challenge.
Well, it's the most eagerly anticipated time of the year in the NBA. The playoffs get started tonight. The Mavs come in as the 3rd seed. Portland is the 6th seed. You get the feeling that the pressure is on Dallas because of past first-round failures.
As they entered the playoffs against the Trailblazers, the Mavericks were well aware that they were a team with something to prove.
They've been the team that has underachieved in the playoffs. They all know that. This is no big secret. So, yeah, the pressure's on.
From day one when the playoffs started, it was a lot of words like, we was not going to make it, like we were kind of soft team and all of that.
I'm pumped up. It started at shoot around this morning, and now it's going to carry over right into the game. You're at home, you want to set the tone early, and you want to come out and let them know it's going to be a tough series.
A lot of people picking the road team tonight and in this series, the Portland Trailblazers.
Blaze, go, three. Go, baby. 1, 2, 3.
Let's go, man.
Yeah, chill, boys! Chill, boys! Hey! Let's go, man! Kidd finds Marion back to Kidd. Down to 6 to shoot. At 5. And off the bounce for 3. Good! The capper of a fantastic night for Jason Kidd!
The start of Dallas's playoff journey would be smooth sailing, with their battle-tested veterans leading them to a pair of home wins.
The Dallas Mavericks lead this series 2-0.
The Blazers recovered to win Game 3 in Portland, but when the Mavs took a 23-point lead in the third quarter of Game 4, they were on the verge of putting a stranglehold on the series.
Hey, we gotta be strong. We gotta make strong moves. All right, let's get back to playing basketball and not playing that scoreboard up there.
We're up 20, thinking we're going to cruise on to a victory. They come back with a fierce run.
Roy, can he be the lift that Portland so desperately needs?
Brandon Roy would lead Portland on one of the greatest comebacks in NBA playoff history.
The natural connects, and the Blazers finally are within single digits. Dallas was up 23 here in Game 4, and it's a 4-point game. Somebody's got to pitch me. I must be dreaming.
And as the Mavs' lead evaporated, it seemed they were still being haunted by the ghost of playoff failures.
We have seen this before.
Yeah, again, as Joe Madera said, deja vu all over again right now for the Dallas Mavericks.
And I know every Maverick fan is thinking about that right now. Roy for the lead, backs it in. The Trailblazers rally to beat the Mavericks. This best of 7 is tied at 2 games apiece. The Mavericks still have home court advantage, but there have to be obvious questions. Wondering why and what if and how.
You guys have had some really painful playoff experiences in the last 5 years. How do you prevent kind of a, oh no, here we go again type of mentality from creeping in now?
Look, it's a game you shouldn't lose. But sometimes these things happen, and when they do, we've got to stay the course and keep playing and move on to the next game. I mean, that's all we can do at this point.
It was the kind of loss that might have crushed them in the past, but this time it only strengthened their resolve, and Dallas bounced back to win Game 5.
There were a lot of doubters. There were a lot questioning if the same old playoff Mavericks were making a reappearance. This doesn't put it in the books by any stretch, but it sure does feel a heck of a lot better than it felt 48 hours ago.
Returning to Portland, the Mavericks would close out the Blazers, putting their Game 4 meltdown behind them.
Dallas is going to take this first round series against Portland.
If you're going to win a championship, you got to exercise some demons, and they got rid of one tonight as the Dallas Mavericks are moving on to face the Los Angeles Lakers in round 2.
Tonight, the Western Conference semifinals open with Game 1 in Los Angeles as the Lakers and Mavericks meet on the postseason stage for the first time in 23 years.
Western Conference semifinals, Mavs against Lakers. Stay tuned.
In the second round, the Mavericks found themselves in the role of underdogs, and with good reason. They were up against the two-time defending champs. As the series began, the Lakers quickly took charge, looking every bit like champions.
And Kobe painting another playoff masterpiece. It's a 16-point Lakers lead.
For us to be successful, you've got to stay the course. You got to keep believing, even when things aren't going good.
We've got to run. We've got to run. They're trotting into the game. They're feeling their way out. Hey, we got to push our tempo.
In the first round, they let a big lead get away. But this time it was the Mavericks who would make a comeback, showing the resilience that would define their playoff run.
We learned a lot in that first series against Portland. Understand that no lead is safe and that you got to play for 48 minutes.
Nowitzki from downtown. This is exactly the position the Mavericks wanted to be in, and a chance for Dirk Nowitzki to take over. Nowitzki working on Odom. Yes.
Wow.
We just kept playing, and we found ourselves into a tight ball game where it came down to a last possession.
Kobe for three. And that's it. The Dallas Mavericks have defeated the Los Angeles Lakers in Game 1.
You know, this is not the same old Mavs. You know, you get aggressive and they back down. You know, this is a different team, different squad, different players, different look. You know, and hopefully we get different outcomes.
In case anyone thought their victory had been a fluke, the Mavs made another convincing statement in Game 2. With the dominance of Dirk and solid play from the bench, they took a 2-0 series lead.
Another stunner pulled off by the Dallas Mavericks here in Los Angeles.
How about those Mavs, baby? How about those Mavs?
That first game, when we came back, I think that gave us confidence to win that second game. And then after we won the second game, I heard Dirk talking. That was the first time he talked. And he was like, don't celebrate. We still got to go home and take care of this.
In a scenario few would have predicted, the Mavericks returned to Dallas with a firm grip on the series, while the Lakers' 2-year grip on the championship trophy was starting to slip away.
This championship team has not been in this situation. Down 0-2, going to someone else's court.
The Lakers' whole dynasty is at stake here. It's all on the tightrope tonight and in this Dallas series, and it all could just come tumbling down.
We know what we are. We know what we do. Let's go.
The Lakers came out with the desperation of a team knowing its season and dreams of a three-peat were in jeopardy.
Bynum goes for the steal and takes it away. Here he goes.
Leading in the fourth quarter, the Lakers had new life, but just when it seemed the series was about to turn, Dallas fought back once again.
Up the middle, right side, Peja fakes the shot, gets inside the arc, pull-up jumper, good. 9 straight for the Mavericks. Bedlam here in the American Airlines Center. Terry pucks it out.
The two-time champs looking nothing like it right now.
Now they're a little vulnerable. You know, that championship shield has broken down a little bit. We smelt blood at that point.
Dirk with a minute and a half to play. Pump fake with the left, and he scored to put the Mavericks in front. And the Dallas Mavericks stun the Lakers and take a 3-0 lead. It's our time now, baby. That's right. Deep now, baby.
The Mavs were riding a wave of emotion, and when Jason Terry came out strong in Game 4, the floodgates were about to open.
Jason Terry off the bench, knocks down the three.
I hit my first shot, I was wide open. So I said, man, if they leave me open again, I'm going to knock these down all night.
Terry from out of the corner hits another three.
And it just kept happening.
It's a shooting gallery here in Texas.
The flaps are down. The Jets 5 of 5 from behind the long line.
Terry's hot shooting quickly became contagious, and with his teammates joining in, it symbolized just how deep these Mavericks had become.
Peja Stojakovic a three. The bench of the Mavericks, at different times in the series, they've been difference makers.
In each and every game, different players have stepped up. You see on some teams that you have rotation of 7-8 guys. On our team, everybody contribute.
To Terry for three, yes! 9 3-point baskets. That ties the NBA record.
Him and Peja was on fire. You know, they couldn't miss. It was like I was watching a video game.
Stojakovic, another one! Stojakovic and Jason Terry are 15 of 16 shooting threes.
Dallas ended up tying a playoff record with 23 pointers as they swept away the Lakers and ended an era in the NBA.
One of the great coaching careers of all time has come to an end.
It's all over. Stunning. Astonishing. Spectacular. The Mavericks are through to the Western Conference Finals.
Way to go, White. Way to go, White.
A couple of those shots, I didn't even see the rim. I was just letting it fly. And I know Dirk don't want to hear that, but he probably was open on a couple of them. You know, the road through the championship always goes through the champ. We knocked the champ out. Now it's time to go handle the rest of our business.
One more obstacle stood between the Mavericks and a trip to the NBA Finals. They were facing one of the rising powers in the Western Conference, the young Oklahoma City Thunder.
Win on 3. 1, 2, 3. Win!
And the contrast between the two teams was embodied by their leading men.
It's all you could ever want. You have an aging superstar in Dirk Nowitzki looking for his first NBA title, and you have a budding megastar in Kevin Durant looking to stun the world.
Durant, the two-time scoring champion, made an immediate statement in Game 1, but Nowitzki would answer him shot for shot. And as the night went on, it became clear that he was in the midst of a classic performance.
Back to the basket, spins left, got around the pocket, got to the rim and stuffed the ball.
Dirk Nowitzki, a Hall of Famer who might be playing his best ever basketball.
Left to Dirk with a lot of early touches tonight. Off balance. Look at that touch. Holy mackerel.
On Dirk, you know he's going to make shots, right? Every time down the court, I don't care what he did the last trip, just do your best the next time down, okay?
But no matter what the Thunder tried, nothing could stop Nowitzki's outburst.
A little bit of everything from Dirk Nowitzki.
He was unbelievable. They had no matchup for him. You know, they tried throwing small guys at him. They tried throwing big guys at him.
He right now is playing at an unbelievable level.
They tried in between, and they couldn't find a matchup for the guy.
And Nowitzki taking away their will sometimes. Nowitzki, it's good!
This has been unbelievable.
Behind 48 points from Dirk, the Mavericks captured Game 1. They had now gone 6-0 at home in the playoffs. But that streak would end with a Thunder win in Game 2, when all of the momentum shifted on one electrifying play.
Maynard off the inbound gives to Durant. Slashes right away from Stojakovic. He throws down over Haywood and gets a bang for his bucket. A thunderous right-hand assault of the big man, a scalding on the forehead of Haywood. For those that thought this would be a Mavericks cakewalk to the NBA Finals, the young Thunder say, think again.
It's got to get us motivated. It's got to get us motivated to play to our level, because we haven't done it in 2 games. We haven't. That's what it's got to be. And more than anything, we got to want it more than them.
Welcome to Oklahoma City and one of the loudest arenas in sports. It's the home of the Thunder, and they are fired up for Game 3.
The Mavericks quickly silenced the Thunder crowd, and after losing the home court advantage, they took it right back.
As deflected by Marion, he got the loose ball away from Harden. He's got a run out and a slow down. And the Mavericks have themselves a 2-1 lead in the Western Conference Finals.
With one more win, Dallas would be in total command, but the Thunder were not ready to go quietly.
Play hard, play together, play for each other, and we win this game tonight 2-2 series.
The Thunder came roaring out of the gate, with Kevin Durant elevating his game.
Back to Durant. Bang!
Oklahoma City was doing everything right, out-hustling, out-rebounding, and outplaying the Mavericks, and taking a 15-point lead with 5 minutes left.
Let's have 5 minutes of your best basketball. Let's go. Let's go. Come on. Spirit.
But as they had already showed in these playoffs, the Mavericks could never be counted out.
Nowitzki right back for the 3.
Stay in the stands, everybody. No lapses of concentration. Coach, you're up the next play. This is what we're going to do. We got to get stops and score the ball every time down for the rest of the game. And that's what we did.
Putting the team on his shoulders, Dirk would carry Dallas on a remarkable comeback.
Dirk forgets Collison, and he'll lean in, and the jumper is good. Oh, what a shot by Dirk! And it's a 5-point game.
We're looking at the clock, and if we can get this amount, a certain amount of points, with a certain amount of time left, this momentum swing is going to get the best of it.
What Dirk's doing is legendary stuff. This is a joke how good this man is.
Dirk spins left, back to his right, step back, scores! What a shot by Nowitzki!
And this building is stunned by the turn of events.
Nowitzki scored 11 points in the last 3.5 minutes as Dallas forced overtime.
A lot of teams come back
And that climb that you come back on, sometimes you don't have nothing in the tank at the end, but we had something always in the tank.
With the game tied and less than a minute remaining in the extra session, Jason Kidd finished off the improbable win.
Good three-pointer, Jason Kidd.
A crushing defeat for the Young Thunder, and the Dallas Mavericks take a commanding 3-1 lead in this Western Conference Final.
When you can come back and win a game like that, you gain confidence, you gain momentum. Being opportunistic may have been the greatest single characteristic of this team.
Nowitzki leans, flips it up. Marion on the follow.
With a chance to eliminate the Thunder and punch their ticket to the NBA Finals, it was Shawn Marion who would spark Dallas in Game 5.
How many plays Shawn Marion going to make to close out this ball game?
The game was still hanging in the balance until Dirk hit the biggest shot of the night.
Nowitzki for the lead. Bang!
And finally, the Mavericks had earned their shot at redemption.
For the second time in franchise history, the Dallas Mavericks will play for the NBA championship. And 5 years after the fact, there's this matter of unfinished business.
All I can say is there's 20-some thousand people in this building who believed in us when nobody else did. There's all the guys in this organization and on the court who believed in us and fought every game, every minute of the way. And all I can tell everybody is, we ain't done yet.
Not that I'm not excited, but this really ain't the trophy we want. We got to go through this trophy to get to the next one. We've done that. Now it's on. Now it's on, baby. NBA Finals, here we come.
In the Eastern Conference, the Stars had aligned in Miami. Chris Bosh and LeBron James joined Dwayne Wade to form a celebrated trio that drew unprecedented national attention. And the Big Three were determined to live up to all the hype.
LeBron James, here he comes, hitting ahead for Wade. There he goes. Oh! The house of highlights. Nice move by Chris Bosh.
So skilled.
And Wade, baseball pass to LeBron. 92
one end to the other.
After rolling through the season with 58 wins, the Heat looked even more unstoppable in the playoffs. First, they dispatched the Sixers.
One series down, very competitive series, but they got us prepared for the next series versus Boston, so this is what everybody's been waiting on.
Yeah. And we know this job been waiting on.
Next up were the Celtics, the perennial contenders who knocked both James and Wade out of the playoffs a year ago. This time, the Heat returned the favor and signaled a changing of the guard in the East.
Wade racing down the other end of the floor for the finish. Timeout, Boston.
James down to 5. James for 3. He got it! LeBron from downtown! He nails another 3! And the Heat come away with the victory.
The Heat would still have to overcome the NBA's top-seeded team, the Chicago Bulls. But like the previous two series, Miami wrapped up the Eastern Conference Finals in 5 games.
Dominate on 3. 1, 2, 3.
Bosh. Bosh serving up a facial.
Rose, defense not set, turn it over. Wade has got it. Wade down the way. Wade steps her way up, got it in. Wade.
Down to 3, down to 2. Here's Rose, can he get it off? It is blocked. That will do it. The Miami Heat defeat the Chicago Bulls, and Miami is headed to the NBA Finals.
We came together to get back to the finals and give ourselves an opportunity to host that trophy. D-Wade's done it once, and I've been working my tail off for 8 years to try it.
to do it. And, this is a big step for us.
Welcome to Game 1 at the American Airlines Arena in Miami.
Finals, baby! Heat! Woo! NBA! Heat number one! Heat number one, baby! They're gonna win! Let's go, Heat! Let's go, Heat! Let's go, Heat!
After 5 years of waiting, 5 long years of waiting, the Dallas Mavericks are in the NBA Finals. And of course, sitting on the other side, it could only be this way, the Miami Heat.
I mean, it's a great feeling to look around here and you see, Finals MVP over there, see a multiple All-Star over there. You can't ask for more, you just got to go out and do it.
They have 3 of the top 4 players every time they step on the court. You don't beat them as individuals, you beat them as a team. We pride ourselves on being a great team.
These are the same team, I don't care who's in uniform, that sent us home, that had us in the locker room crying in 05-06, the tears, the sleepless nights. All those days added up. Now it was here before us.
We've got legacies at stake here. LeBron looking for his first, Wade looking for his second championship, Dirk, Kidd looking for their first. That's what I'm pumped up about. Let's get it on.
This is what we always dreamed about. This is what we've been preparing about every single day from training camp. But it starts tonight. Take every possession like it's his last. Every minute, every second, every quarter like it's his last, man. Dominate. 1, 2, 3. Dominate!
Game 1, NBA Finals, baby. Can you not say more?
We expected this series to be physical and a lot of animosity. It has not let us down here in Game 1.
The Mavericks were prepared to battle for every inch, but it didn't take long for the Heat to unleash their star power.
LeBron goes to the floor, tries to put a fork in it. He's got the loose ball, and he gets it to Bibby. Bibby has no numbers, back to LeBron, joining the play, down the lane. Runner is good, got the bang in the bucket. Chance for a three-point play.
At times I felt like we were just playing against their names and not them guys.
LeBron, step back shot, it won't go. Slammed up bottle, 2 hands by Bob.
I was like, dude, we gotta go ahead and play. Play these guys. These guys just like everybody else. And attack them hard.
Just gotta keep playing. Gotta keep playing. A lot of time. A lot of time.
Pitched it right corner, Terry. It jets 3. It's good. Jason Terry.
Nowitzki catch and shoot. That goes. Another three-pointer. Their 4th nearly opening half.
As halftime approached, the Mavericks' trademark teamwork was keeping them in the game.
1:15 till the break. Jason Kidd at the top, lobs it to the basket. Chandler, 2-hand dunk.
That's team basketball that has gotten the Mavs to where they are tonight.
We're doing a good job. We're active. We're getting good shots. All right? The biggest thing, stay away from the turnovers. That's the biggest thing.
Here's Kidd around the arc to the right. Had it stripped by Bibby. Up the head left side for James. Touch pass Wade. Down the lane. Laid it in with a foul on Stevenson.
The Heat continue their assault.
As many had predicted, Miami's marquee performers were dominating the game's biggest stage, and their opening act was simply too much for the Mavs.
LeBron James hit a three-pointer from the right side as the clock expired in the 3rd.
Everything going right now for the Miami Heat. Pass to Marion. Blocked by Wade. Knocked out of bounds. Miami ball.
And you know what the key is of this game? They've got LeBron and Wade, and Dallas doesn't. It's really that simple.
Toronto! What a vicious slam and foul!
They're starting to celebrate here at the American Airlines Arena.
We just didn't play well enough, and Miami really took it to us down the stretch. They got some alley-oops, and they got away from us.
The Mavs fought hard, but once again, Miami learned to close.
Lob to the rim, and James throws it down for the dagger in Game 1.
Dominant performance from the Miami Heat. 1-0 in the best of 7 for Miami.
Very aggressive tonight. It was final style basketball, but they made the plays at the end of the game. So they were able to open the game up. We're a veteran team, so if you can't get down with the loss, if you're the road team, you're happy with the split. So we got another opportunity on Thursday to go get one.
After their storybook run through the West, the Mavs found themselves in unfamiliar territory entering Game 2.
and certainly questions abounding for the Mavericks, as for the first time in these playoffs, they are playing from behind.
This is huge, you know. We don't want to go on the road 0-2. Whenever you come on the road, the goal is to come out and try to sneak one. So tonight is it.
They also were dealing with uncertainty surrounding their superstar. Dirk had torn a tendon in his finger in Game 1.
Question number one, what about Dirk's left middle finger and just how it will affect the way he plays his game?
We're ready for the challenge. It's a huge game. We understand it. It's a must-win for them, but it's also, we feel like it's a must-win for us. We got to continue to protect home court.
Okay, we've done a lot of talking about it the last couple of days, and I think we know where it's at. Play to exhaustion. That's the biggest thing.
Defense, 1, 2, 3, defense!
When the game began, any questions about Dirk were quickly put to rest as he lifted Dallas to a fast start.
Nowitzki on a pull-up, knocks it down.
And shows he can put the ball on the floor to his left.
And the Mavericks looking sharp.
And knocked away by Nowitzki. It's picked up by Terry. Racing with Wade. Got by him, got to the rim, and laid it up and in.
And I like the energy and effort on both ends of the floor. You can tell they've come out much better prepared.
Building a first-half lead, the Mavericks seemed to have found their footing. But then, just like in Game 1, they were upstaged by the Heat's cast of stars.
Miami's offense again struggling. 3 on the way. Off the rim. Follow-up! Right-hand jab by LeBron!
Haywood, he's double-teamed. Dribbles out of that double-team. In trouble, threw it away. Wade the steal. Away from Stevenson.
Wade to the basket with a dunk.
A 9-0 run for Miami out of that timeout.
They were throwing alley-oops. They were dunking. They were getting out on a fast break. You know, they were knocking down threes on us. They were kicking our butts.
James veering to his right on the drive, got the lane to the rim and threw it down. And he hurt the rim doing it.
The Miami Heat, it's like they change gears and you don't have an answer for it.
Marion cutting down the lane, and it fumbled and lost. Here's Wade on the fast break. Behind the back, around the 50, reverse dunk. What a play by Wade. The Dallas turnovers are killing the Mavericks here in the third quarter.
Go ahead! Go ahead!
LeBron straight down the middle. Inside. Chalmers to Wade for 3. Got it! Wade from downtown! And the Heat have blown this game open. Miami, their largest lead of the night, 15.
It appeared to be a knockout blow, but to the Mavericks, the fight was far from over.
You know, they were celebrating a little bit. It was about 8 minutes left in the game. They're celebrating. I'm walking right behind them. Just the fight in me, the championship spirit in me said, no way. Not now. Not in this moment.
They were on their home floor. They were putting on a show. I think everybody just got real angry on the bench, got frustrated.
I looked at J. Kidd, I looked at Dirk, and I'm just shaking my head. No words were even exchanged. Then I looked over to Daryl Armstrong. He was there in 05, 06. He knew what this moment meant. And I just looked over to him. I said, nobody likes a show.
All right, showing off. Let's go.
Coming out of that timeout, we came right at him.
Down by 15, the inspired Mavs began their latest and most unlikely postseason comeback.
Back up to Kidd, wide open for 3. Knocks it down.
They will never quit on the game, and they're hanging in again tonight.
Shot clock at 8. Nowitzki against Bosch, spinning. Marion the drive, flips it up, banks it in, and it's a 7-point game. Terry the drive, Terry the pull-up, it's good! A terrific run here, and they've sliced 11 points off the lead.
As you kind of look up at the clock, you always found the score just, getting a little closer and closer.
LeBron, the long shot, missed, rebound UD, and UD saves it, back in play, Dallas has got it!
Left for dead just minutes earlier, Dallas had come roaring back to life, erasing what seemed to be an insurmountable lead.
Nowitzki layup, we're tied at 90! Oh my! Dallas has come back from 15, and this crowd is stunned.
We all knew if we get stopped, Dirk was going to finish him out on the other side.
Terry moving to his right, to the top of the arc, and down to Dirk. He's open for 3, on the way. It's good! It's good! With 26.7 seconds remaining.
A 20-2 run. One of the most incredible comebacks in NBA Finals history.
You know, I thought with Dirk shooting a three and knocking it down, it just put so much pressure on them.
It's our time right now. It's our time.
In a game they once had well in hand, the Heat now trailed by 3, but they still were not through.
James inbounds the ball from the left sideline.
Chalmers wide open. Oh! Chalmers knocks down the 3 and ties the game. Big shot after big shot here as we wind down the stretch here of game 2.
The Mavericks would have one last shot, knowing their epic comeback would mean nothing unless it ended with a victory.
This is our time. This is where we got to be able to, this is the game we got to win.
Down to 13 in the shot clock. Now here comes the play to Nowitzki. Nowitzki against Bosch. 7 to shoot. Nowitzki.
Nowitzki gets the ball outside the three-point line. Works it on Bosch.
Nowitzki. Spin inside. Nowitzki. The easy layup and in. With 3.6 left. Wade to LeBron. James to Wade. Wade for the win. No! Dallas shocks Miami and wins it 95-93.
They'll remember June 2nd in the Dallas Mavericks franchise forever. What a comeback. Never give up, Lou. Never give up. Way to fight. Hey, never give up. Way to fight. Way to fight. Way to fight out there. Never give up.
That's what you dream about, a comeback like that, ignited by defense, guys scrambling for each other, everybody on the same page.
Big win for us, man. It's a game we had to have. Going back home now, we're going to get a warm welcome. Our fans are going to be ready. More importantly, we got a lot of good basketball ahead of us.
Dirk is Dirk. He's not going to change. He loves the stage. He loves the, having the ball, being able to make a play, and he put us on his back tonight.
You got to play till the end, especially as the finalists. You can be down 20. You got to keep plugging. You never know what's going to happen in this league.
It was a good game, man. We tied it up now. Best of all game series now. We're going home.
As the series shifted to Dallas, Mavericks fans were riding high after the emotional win in Game 2.
People around here back the Mavericks. Hey, the lid will blow off this town if the Mavericks can pull a win.
Let's go, Mavs! Let's go, Mavs!
Game 3, limited edition program. Game 3 final.
It's a long time since we started. And I remember the early days with Dick Mott and our beginning team. And we're back there again. That kind of emotion, that kind of feeling.
The Mavericks had seized the home court advantage, but with a chance to grab control of the series, this was no time to let up.
What Dallas team are we going to get tonight? Is it going to be the one that says, I'm still angry, I'm still upset, or are we going to get the one that's satisfied that they got the split?
Come on, Jet! You know you got it.
Yes, sir. Good game right here.
With so much on the line, Game 3 turned into a bruising struggle. Each team playing with fierce intensity.
Tough physical battle.
Neither guy backing down.
The Heat would be fueled by the strength of their defense and the brilliance of Dwayne Wade.
He is lighting it up.
With Wade making plays all over the floor, Miami took command.
Wade hands it off LeBron. Two-hand jam as he runs the wing. Come on, hang in there. Hang in there.
The Heat had gone up by 13 in the third quarter, but by now the Mavs had shown that no lead was safe, and in the closing minutes, they were proving it once again.
Good job.
And as usual, it was Dirk who was leading them back.
Left of the circle, backdoor cut, finds Dirk, dunks it as he beat Bosch to tie the game at 84. And another fabulous fourth quarter comeback for the Mavericks.
Once again, Dallas had Miami on the run, but unlike Game 2, the Heat refused to surrender the lead. And this all-important contest was heading for a frantic finish.
Nowitzki, 5 on the clock. Nowitzki head fake, falling away. It's good. Dirk Nowitzki knocks it down again.
With a minute 40 to play, it's a one-man show. Dirk's tied it at 86. He scored the last 12.
Play!
This time, the Heat had an answer for Dirk's onslaught, turning to Chris Bosh for the biggest shot of the game.
Bosch on the wing, the jumper, got it on the wing! With 39.6 seconds remaining,
And Miami back up by 2.
Dallas had time for one last shot, and there was little doubt as to who would take it.
Dirk's fronted. He can't get it in. Now lobs it to Dirk against Haslam. On the move. Spins left. Steps back from 18. Hits the heel of the rim. It bounces away. And Miami has won the game and has taken a 2-1 lead in the NBA Finals.
The momentum the Mavs had gained from Game 2 was gone, and so was their home court advantage. And after all the obstacles they had overcome, the question was, could this resilient team respond once again? Now Carlisle would look to find that winning combination once again as he looked ahead to Game 4, the biggest challenge of his coaching career.
It is Game 4 of the 2011 NBA Finals, and for the Dallas Mavericks, it's truly a must-win situation.
We have a chance to take the bull by the horns tonight. We're in the position, we fought for this position, so we just have to keep it going.
As the Heat looked to take a 3-1 series lead, the Mavericks already faced an uphill battle. But their task was going to be tougher than anyone had realized.
The night before, I go home and start shivering a little bit, it started to get cold. I was like, I'll probably just need to go to bed and I'll be great tomorrow, but it just didn't happen that way.
We came in and I'm just like, what's wrong with him? He's quiet, he's not saying anything, he's kind of just slumped over.
The trainer comes in and says, Dirk's sick. Huh? Sick? What do you got? They were like, we got the flu. Oh, I said, oh, no. Not right now. Not in this moment.
In my head, I was thinking, shoot, this might be the biggest game of my life, and I'm here sweating and shivering and frustrated.
That ball goes on the ground, or that ball is in the air. Who is winning that battle tonight? Ain't letting us lose tonight. Not tonight. It is a primal game.
We got to win the grit and guts game tonight. They got to see waves of white coming at them all night long. I'll make sure we got fresh guys in the game.
Even though we up 2-1, I still feel like our back is against the wall. Lay it all on the line tonight and play Miami Heat basketball, man.
Let's go,
get it.
Let's get it, baby.
Yep.
As the game began, Dirk tried to persevere through his illness, but it quickly became apparent that he wasn't himself.
Nowitzki, 2-pointer, off the mark.
Dirk looks exhausted to me.
I remember giving it to him, and I remember him missing open shots that he would never miss.
Dirk Nowitzki is playing tonight's basketball game with a fever perhaps as high as 102 degrees.
Dirk Nowitzki desperately needs some help.
After all the years that Dirk Nowitzki had carried the Mavericks, it was now his teammates' turn to carry him.
We know what was at stake here. We knew what we had to do. We all just believed in each other and came together.
Chalmers dribbles to the left, bounce pass to LeBron's taken away by Jason Kidd. In transition, Marion bounce pass Terry, gives it to Marion down the lane, layup, good.
J.J. Barea in the starting lineup. He's come off the bench the entire playoffs, only started 2 games in the regular season.
Barea used the screen from Chandler, worked to the right.
Slices through the defense, and he puts it in. Wild shot by Barea.
The only thing I'm thinking, you got to come with it. I know how much this guy's been through. You can't allow Dirk being sick to cause him his ring.
Then by Wade, screen left by Chandler, and a pick and roll with Chandler, and he dunks the ball. It's a 9-0 Dallas run. They lead by 4.
Keep breaking them down. Keep breaking them down. Hey, look, it's a long game. Be persistent. Stay with it.
There's Barea to his left. Finds Stevenson for a right side three-pointer. Got it over.
The Mavs had stayed close for a half, but Dwayne Wade was determined to crush their hopes.
Wade on the block, spinning off of Marion, got to the rim, scores with a foul.
Nowitzki inside to Chandler, block. Oh, and a block from Wade. A spectacular defensive play.
LeBron, the alley-oop. Wade, 2-hand jam on the alley-oop from LeBron James. It's MVP stuff from Dwayne Wade right now. The Mavericks, who've played out of a fourth-quarter hole this entire series, trying to get tight.
With the game and the series in danger of slipping away, Dirk found the strength to lead the Mavericks on yet another late rally.
Dirk one-on-one with Anthony off the right of the lane. Left-hand dribble, no double team. Turns right, fades, and hits.
Boy, that was a tough shot. Had to fall away from him on that one. Nowitzki the drive, scoop layup, banks it in. 3-point game. I remember a guy named Jordan who played sick a few times.
Dirk was absolutely obsessed with winning the game, and he was not going to allow our team to lose. He was going to bring the level of the guys around him up.
Bosh knocked away. Ahead for Terry on the run out. Lays it up and in. And the Mavericks have the lead at 79-78. And Jets got the wings out.
With less than a minute left and the Mavericks clinging to a 1-point lead, they would still need one more heroic effort from their leader.
Nowitzki at the free throw circle to the right, guarded by Hasbro. 20 seconds, 15 on the shot. Now the shot's down to 13. Dirk facing to the right, goes quickly to the right.
And lays it in! Oh! Nowitzki! I don't know how he got that one over the rim.
Third straight game in these finals, going down to the final shot. We gotta play some D. Play D, we got it.
Here we go. Looking, still looking, still looking. Chandler all over, got the weight. It's off his hands, into the backcourt. Got it to Miller, and he'll fire it up to the right sideline for 3. It's no good. The game is over, and this series is tied at 2 games apiece, and we're down to a best of 3.
A special player put on a remarkable show here tonight at the American Airlines Center.
That's who he is, being sick and not feeling 100%. You know, he wanted the ball down the stretch and he delivered.
He wants the ball and he wants the responsibility of winning and losing the game. He did everything that he could possibly do. He's one of the greatest ever.
Though the finals were now tied at 2, the Heat didn't seem fazed by their tough loss in Game 4. They still just needed one win to put themselves in the driver's seat.
We never get too high, we never get too low in the series. We haven't got too high or too low in the regular season as well. But today it's a new day. We're a confident bunch. And for me personally, I'm looking forward to the challenge. It's going to be fun.
While the Heat maintained their poise, the Mavericks were feeling a sense of urgency.
Game 5, another must-win situation for us. There's no way you can go to Miami and give them 2 match balls to put you away. We had to get that game.
Another night of drama was about to unfold in Dallas, in a series where the last 3 games had been decided by 3 points or less.
Hey man, giving y'all some classics. That's what we're doing. We're giving y'all some classic games right now.
LeBron James will be looking to bounce back tonight. He's calling this the biggest game of his life.
That's what we all signed up for, though. I don't think it's pressure. It's fun more than anything, you know? It's Game 5. It's a turn game.
Every game is important when you're playing in the finals. But when you get this close, and both teams are 2 wins away from the ultimate prize, I think you just get that much more focused.
You guys a story about when I was talking to a great friend of mine, Chuck Daly, when he was basically on his deathbed. And I told him about this important game that we had coming up, and he had one sentence. He said, wipe everything off the board. It's all about attitude. So whatever you do it hard, do it with conviction, do it with complete trust.
Every possession, we got to win all the hustle plays tonight, dog. Start from the jump, man. This is what it's about right here, man. They're in the way of our championship, man.
For most of the series, it seemed that the Mavericks had been chasing the Heat, constantly having to come from behind.
Let's go!
But this time, they were determined to set the pace.
Here's Kidd, a steal off a Bibby pass on the way, lays it in with the left hand at the left of the rim. Picked up by Marion, he drives on James, spins on him, in the lane.
And the Mavs with this tempo have already taken control of this game.
With their hot start, the Mavericks had everything going their way. And to make matters worse for the Heat, Dwayne Wade left with a hip contusion.
Not the sight Miami Heat fans want to see.
But with one star down, another step forward to carry the Heat.
James throws it down.
Miami is going to take the lead
And when Wade made his return, Miami appeared just as dynamic as ever.
Wade, tough shot, banks it in. Hip looked pretty good there.
Play with your feet and your body now. Stay on the ground. Stay on the ground.
But after 4 games of trying to crack the stifling Heat defense, this would be the night that Dallas broke through.
Down low, Chandler dunks the ball as again he slipped the pick.
And I think finally the offense started clicking. Everybody stepped up.
Dirk on the move, spinning left, got the step, left hand layup, good over Bosch.
We got hot in that game. I think JJ was phenomenal, making shots from everywhere.
Perea for 3. The hot shooting continues. They're 6 of 8 from downtown.
We finally got an offensive rhythm against this team.
Baseline found Marion. Wrap around feed to Kidd. Straight away 3. Good!
It's about time. It's 5 games that we've been waiting for this.
Nowitzki, high arcing 3. Oh! A rainbow goes through. What a shooting clinic from 3-point range. 9 of 13.
It's an important time right now. Okay, let's stay aggressive.
For all their hot shooting and high scoring, the Mavericks just couldn't shake the Heat.
LeBron on the run. In there with a layup is Dwayne Wade. Miami within 1 now.
And LeBron James with a triple-double. Kids on Wade. Wade sets, puts it up.
Got it! Wade from downtown, his first trade.
9-0 run by Miami.
In this tight, intense series, the teams were fighting down to the wire yet again. But in the closing minutes, with the finals up for grabs, it was the Mavericks who would lift their play to a higher level.
Nowitzki, quick move, and the finish!
This is one of the best final games I have ever seen.
Flow, 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 flow!
Back out to Kidd for a kill shot! Got it! We've got 26 to go!
Looked so good for the Heat, and then it just all seemed to fall apart.
Finally, the Mavs were able to pull away, and fittingly, it was their long-range shooting that put them over the top.
Terry, a long 3.
Got it!
And the Mavericks are 1 win away from an NBA championship. What a performance from the veteran Dallas Mavericks.
We got 1 to go. It's been a long journey. It's not over yet.
Great win. We made shots tonight. We got us the win, baby.
Home court advantage, man. That's why we worked all year.
Headed back home.
Headed home. Give them credit. They did a good job of taking their home floor. Now it's our turn.
We couldn't celebrate tonight, even though it was a big win for us. But the series is not over. We're going in there Sunday swinging like we did today. Keep attacking.
Dirk Nowitzki, Jason Kidd, and Jason Terry. 3 Mavericks who had each left their mark on the game, but each had a void in their careers. Kidd had lost in both of his trips to the NBA Finals, while Nowitzki and Terry were the only Mavs remaining from the team that fell short in 2006. After a while, many wondered whether these 3 stars truly had what it took to win it all.
There should be some Hollywood producer that makes the movie called The Cast-Offs, you know? Because if you think about it, Dirk is the superstar that really isn't the superstar. Because he's too soft or he's too European or can't win the big one. There were all of those things that were thrown at him. And then you go to Jason Kidd, 38 years old, and that's too old. Jet was the booby prize we got after, we lost Stevie Nash. And how do you step into those shoes?
Terry would find his way in Dallas, becoming a dependable clutch shooter and a constant sidekick to Dirk through all the team's ups and downs.
We bonded right away from day one, and he's an emotional guy. I'm an emotional guy on the court, so we argue a lot, but I guess that kind of makes our relationship special, I love him to death.
Jet takes 4th quarter crunch time winning to a different stratosphere with us. I've not been around a guy that embraces crunch time like Jet does. It's unbelievable.
Now in the finals, this is another closeout situation for us. Jet loves these moments, and he loves that stage.
17 years earlier, Jason Kidd was a standout rookie with the Mavericks, but was never able to lift them to glory. He returned to Dallas in 2008, this time as one of the greatest point guards of all time. What he found was a Mavericks team still reeling from years of playoff heartbreak, but his arrival marked a turning point.
J. Kidd kind of revived me. He brought a whole new hype here, and when you cut, the ball was on the money. When you opened, the ball was on its way. We started running a little more, and just basketball was fun again.
Jason was that true quarterback, that guy that settled the game down in the fourth quarters and crunch time, the guy that wasn't afraid of anything that came at him.
Playing alongside him in the same backcourt, it's just been unreal. It's been like a dream. Every day I come to work, I can enjoy lacing up my shoes knowing that I'm playing alongside a Hall of Famer.
Nowitzki has charted his own path to the Hall of Fame through 13 seasons of dedication and determination.
Dirk Nowitzki has been the heart and soul of this franchise for over a decade.
Nowitzki attacking inside.
You really don't realize how unique and special a player is until you walk alongside him and you play with a guy like Dirk.
Being able to watch him in practice and see how much time he spent on shooting really helped me, stay a little bit longer, put up, a couple more jump shots. And I said, dang, this guy, that's why he's so good, because he works so hard on his game.
One needed the other. You had Jason Kidd, that was one of the all-time great point guards in the history of the game, and you had Dirk, that had been to the finals and was missing that one thing in order to get over the hump. When they came together, they were like two peas in a pond, and it wasn't just on the court, but it was the off-the-court relationship, too, that made those two guys one of the greatest tandems that I've ever been around.
And now, more than ever, Dirk has embraced the responsibility of being the team leader.
When I looked at the USA Today before Game 3 and I seen that Dirk had called me out and said, we need Jet to be clutch. He haven't really been clutch. I really took that to heart. I showed up with a stone-faced killer look on my face.
Game 5, Dirk got very animated on the bench and really went at a couple of the guys on our team. And so I got on him a little bit about it. And then I talked to Jason about it afterwards, and he said to me, he goes, Coach, the thing that you got to understand, Dirk was not going to let us lose. He was going to bring the level of the guys around him up. All three of these guys, Dirk Nowitzki, Jason Terry, Jason Kidd, have had incredible success in this league. But until you get the ring, until you finish the deal, you don't have the fulfillment of what it means to have accomplished the ultimate goal.
There wasn't going to be a Game 7. We had already talked about it together collectively. We're packing one suit, one tie, and it's going to be all black.
It's our ritual in closeout games. Everybody wears all black.
Since the start of the postseason, the Mavericks have said the time is now. Well, the time can be now. And for their veteran team, so many of them so accomplished in their NBA history, but none owning an NBA championship. Game time, baby. The Mavericks are looking focused and ready as they're one win away from their championship dreams.
It would be perhaps the most difficult win of all, against a Heat team desperate to stay alive.
It's by any means necessary, man. Simple as that. Bring it on in, man. Here we go. Dominate on 3. 1, 2, 3.
Dominate! Welcome to the American Airlines Arena for Game 6 of the 2011 NBA Finals.
Kidd swings it. Nowitzki puts up a 3. In and out.
Dirk Nowitzki had waited his entire life to be this close to the championship. But early in Game 6, he found that his shooting touch had deserted him at the worst possible time.
Nowitzki still can't get it to go. He's 1 for 9.
With Dirk struggling, the Heat were quick to take advantage, and with a first-half explosion, they had Dallas reeling.
The perfect start for LeBron James and Miami.
Chandler blocked by Wade. Stay with it. Stay with it. On the wing, House for three. Got it! And Miami leads by 2 in the midst of a 14-0 run.
Composure, all right? Composure. Play through this. Play through this.
The Mavericks weathered the storm with the help of their role players, like Deshaun Stevenson.
He's behind the arc. He'll try a three, and he hits!
And this has been a huge story in the series. The bench of the Mavericks. At different times in the series, they've been difference makers.
And as the Mavs' key reserves continued to step forward, no one contributed more than six-man supreme Jason Terry. Carrying Dallas in the first half, he provided the kind of spark he's delivered his entire career.
Jet loves these moments. His sidekick struggling a little bit. He walked up to him and said, "Hey, I got this. You just relax, I got this."
Terry off the dribble, pulls up. That's good. 14 points in 14 minutes off the bench. Terry and Nowitzki have been through a lot of painful playoff memories. He has been superb the last couple of games, and once again tonight.
We're basically the only two left from 06 that went through that disappointment. So he's a special player. He's one of the best crunch down players this league has. I love him to death, and he's amazing.
Wide open three. Bang! Terry! Oh, he's shooting lights out.
And that ends the first half. For Terry, 19 points. Nowitzki 1 for 12, yet his team is up by 2 at 53-51.
Second half, it's just got to be a relentless defensive effort.
The Dallas Mavericks were 24 minutes away from their goal. The time to achieve it was now. And in the second half, they would seize their moment.
Marion, the offensive rebound, and took it away from Wade, which you don't see very often.
Miami getting beaten up again to start the third period.
Way to hang in. Way to hang in. Everybody rebound. Way to respond.
You look at the body language, and it looks like a heavyweight champ that realizes he's held on too long. He's in trouble.
With the Heat on the ropes, it was Dirk who came alive to finish them off, leaving no doubt as to who would be the finals MVP.
Open for the three. Got it from downtown.
Dirk on the right block, left hand dribble, and he gets to the rim, and he finishes as he hits the deck as well.
They can smell it and sense it.
I mean, for him to win this championship for his organization in his city, man, he put us on his back and did it gracefully. He's been through the good, the bad, the worst. He's seen it all.
Nowitzki hooks it up, puts it in, makes it a 10-point game.
And only fitting, Dirk Nowitzki sealing the deal.
Elevating his status amongst the NBA's greats. The Mavericks have scaled the NBA playoff mountain and have planted their flag. They are the NBA champions for 2010-2011.
It was almost surreal. I kind of like, is this really over now? And I had to run out. My emotions got the best of me a little bit. I was crying a little bit. I definitely needed a couple moments by myself.
Wow, he was so emotional. He went back to the back.
Come here, Jet! Come here, Jet!
Thank you for laying it all on the line for me. For the first time in franchise history, the Dallas Mavericks have won the NBA championship. Mama and Daddy right here. Mama and Daddy. All right? We'll never forget this day. The day I was born, and then the day. That's it.
Championship! Bam! Bam!
This is what
it's about right here. Took me 12 years to get this. I'm not letting it go.
Taste is sweet because they never won. So anytime you can be called a champion, it's always sweet.
Third time's a charm. It's a dream.
You've watched this your entire life. You watched the great ones, and now you're going to be in that book, you know, with those guys, and it's just you're overwhelmed.
It's a sweet joy, sweet vindication, and I'll never forget this day.
It was a huge sigh of relief. Everybody talks about a monkey, a gorilla, whatever you want to have on your back at that point in time. All bets were off. We have finally realized it. We're NBA champions.
When you work for something so hard and so long, I think just kind of everything goes through your mind at once. The countless hours in the summers that I'm in the gym, it was all worth it, even though it was a grind going through it, but at the end it was all worth it, so it kind of all came out. It feels amazing now to know that nobody can ever take this away from us again, and for 1 year we're the best team that was out there.
Here we go, right in the middle, everybody big smiles.
To remember. It was a great season, but the ending was so sweet. Our dream became a reality. 05-06 is history.